Yeah, you want to associate yourself with the best brands. I mean, if you can have a lifestyle brand like Reebok, that's they've been around forever. That just makes your status go up a little bit. Attaching yourself to a brand like Reebok, then other big sponsors come, opposed to having to deal with 100 little sponsors to collect the same amount of money.
I want to ask you, I know your stance on Duke, but just on sort of you having to deal with all the controversy on Duke as you're getting ready to fight, the toughest guy in the UFC. You're fighting a real tough guy, and you got to deal with that. How's that been?
It didn't bother me much at all, man. Really? I know Duke. I know who he is, and I know the truth's gonna come out soon. Anybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. They want to shoot it out now. What pissed me off the most was they used this kid's death to do this. I mean, it shouldn't be about this kid that died in the ring, the kickboxing ring. His family lost, Dennis, in kickboxing ring. I wasn't there, so I can't really speak on how it happened or how it went down, but that's what it should be about, not attacking some personal vendettas.
Was he a good dude? Did you know him?
I met him. I wasn't on the kickboxing squad. I was on the MMA squad, so we trained differently. Separate. But I've definitely met him before. I know who he is, and he seemed like you saw the video. He's a warrior.
I've covered fights for many years and I had covered guys who died, including one who fell on me when I was sitting at ringside, so I know how pretty bad it is. As a fighter, when a guy that's in your camp, even if you don't know him, does that give you pause at all?
Nah. I know. At that level, they don't have to do the same exact physicals and preparations as we do as professional athletes.
Right.
Now the UFC makes sure we're all in top shape to fight. And if there's something wrong, we can't fight.
Right.
I don't really feel like I have to worry about anything. I'm a healthy guy. I train, I eat, sleep this, and I train all the time. So I'm not going to change my mindset. I definitely feel for his family. I lost my pop, so I know how that feels.
Did you ever have that concern, like, hey, I'm fighting in a smaller show and are things totally legit here?
Nah, you don't, because you're so pumped up for the fight. You don't really think about the back end of it. Is there an ambulance there? You don't really think about all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You think you're safe because you're signing up for this, but that's why MMA, is so unregulated, and it's starting to get better now. But it was so unregulated, you can fight anywhere. Some Indian casinos, you have pride rules going on, and you never know what's going on behind that. So it's just part of the sport, I guess.
Anthony, is it one of those things that you have to accept the fact that every now and then a tragedy is going to happen? Because if you think about it, it'll make you not perform. You know what I'm saying?
No, because it barely ever happens. I've been around the sport my whole life since I was 5, and this is the first time it's ever happened. So it's a tragic thing.
But guys have died in boxing and a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying is, do you have to just sort of not even accept it?
No, because you can die in a car accident, you can die going on vacation.
Right.
It's just something that doesn't really cross my mind. I've been doing this sport for a long time. I don't go in there fearing for my life ever.
Anthony.
Yes.
I want to ask you about the inactivity. How has it affected you? You haven't fought in 15 months or
more mentally, I think. Physically, I've been training every day. When you go to the gym, you see I'm sparring just like it's a fight. And I'm sparring some of the best guys in the world. Ben Askren, one of the best welterweights on the planet. We're going 5 rounds at a time. So it's not really inactive as an athlete. It's more inactive, in this scene. Getting ready for a fight, being able to be in the media. With that injury, I couldn't do it. So, it didn't really affect me physically. Mentally, I was just, I felt like I was missing out. I want to fight. I love fighting. I just turned 27. It's been a long time, and I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, well, with you're going right into the fire now with Melendez. You'd think you'd want to fight, maybe they a tune-up or something.
No, it doesn't happen where I'm at. With this belt on my side, you don't get on tune-up fights. You get the best in the world, and that's just what I'm prepared for. And I like that. Something that's going to get me amped up to train. That this guy's supposed to be the best in the world. But it's only one lightweight king, and we're going to find out Saturday who that is.
When did the kick come and hurt you?
Ben Henderson fight.
Yeah, I know. When in the fight?
The first inside kick he threw, I kind of didn't check it 100% because he was aiming towards my shin. And it was just a freak accident, I guess. Wrong impact and the wrong time. I've been kicked like that millions of times before. And this one tore my PCL.
I was there that night. You knew it that night, right?
Yeah, right after the fight, I walked out the cage and I could feel that something was wrong. So I knew it was a partial tear during that time. And then they said, heal it up. You don't do surgery on a PCL. I did that, and then the first time I got kicked again, full tear.
What are you looking for from Melendez? The guy, he's got a wealth of experience. He's been around all the organizations. What are you looking for facing him?
This is his last chance. He loses this fight, he's not getting on a title shot. Who knows how long he'll be around the UFC? So this is his make or break right here. And for me, this is what I want to do. This is what I've been doing my whole career to become this champ, and I'm not gonna give it up easy. So both of us have a lot to lose. He's gonna come bring a war at me, and I gotta be smarter. I gotta be faster. I gotta be quicker. And I gotta be quicker to punch than he is.
What has it been? When you face a guy like this. Do you think you're going to retire him? Is that what you're thinking, or he's just falling out of falls out of a contention spot?
He won't get a title shot again. You don't get two. He's gotten 2 title shots in 3 fights. That's unheard of. I mean, I don't think anybody's got 2 title shots in 3 fights. So he loses this fight. He knows he probably won't get another title shot in the lightweight division ever. There's so many guys in this division that to skip up unless he comes back and beats everybody within the time frame he's allowed to fight in. Who knows what's going to happen? So this is his shot to become the champ.
What was it like being around him so much as a coach?
We really didn't see each other much. I mean, we saw each other at the fights. We made it about the ladies. He's a respectful dude. I mean, we didn't have no animosity, no beef, and we know we're going to fight. We'll let the fights do the talking for us.
Did you ever have a situation like that before? I guess not, where you've been around your opponent so much.
No, WC was awkward. If on the WC, you had to do all the pre-fight stuff, stare downs for real with the other person, so that was a little different. But yeah, I haven't spent like 8 weeks with anybody that I was going to fight.
Do you look for this fight to go the distance, or you?
No, I never look for the fight. I don't want to go to the judges ever. I think my only losses are judges' decisions. I've never been finished. I've never been hurt in the octagon. So I like to finish these fights. I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm the best in the world and that I do it convincingly.
In terms of all the big fights that you've had, this has to probably be the top right now. I mean, the pressure on you because of the inactivity and maybe some question marks.
Since October. So, I mean, we both have been inactive. He's not like out here killing fights. I mean, he's fought. We have a month difference between our fights, so it's not like he's out here killing things. So we both can watch.
Okay.
He runs up to the bathroom.
I was say she should be hid behind the program.
She goes to the bathroom and she like waits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard about that. She like paces the hall. You can find Anthony Pettis' mom walking.
She's not like Pacquiao's mom, but she hides.
She doesn't have that Eastern Asian food.
I hope she doesn't do that. I'm like, Mom, she did that. Like, Mom, you stayed home.
Sorry, Mom, can't have you out here embarrassing me like it's 5th grade or something. Right on. Go ahead, John.
Most people seem to think that Gilbert's chance against you is to be aggressive, to come out and make it dirty, and just push hard from the beginning. Is that what you're expecting to see from him?
Exactly. I mean, he needs to come and shoot double leg on me quick, because if he stands with me, the more time we're on the feet, the more likely he's going to get finished. On the ground, too, I feel like my jiu-jitsu's gotten so much better, more technical, more clean. When you have an injury, you can't rely on your athleticism. You have to learn the technique. I threw the gi on. I mean, I feel like I've gotten much better since the last time I fought, and that was an amazing performance, so I'm excited to see what I can do myself.
Where do you think Gilbert ranks? I mean, he's a guy that's been, ranked perennially the last decade or so, but I mean, you fought some of the toughest guys in the world. Is he the toughest guy you've ever fought, or is he just one of the guys?
One of the toughest. I think he possesses a different toughness than most guys. Him being Mexican, he has that warrior spirit, that Mexican heart, and I think I possess that myself, so I know he's not going to quit. I mean, I'm going to have to finish this guy to really finish him. He's not going to quit or give up on me, so I think his most aggressive thing is his heart, man. He just doesn't stop coming.
The Wheaties box, obviously, it's not new news. I mean, we've known about it for a while, but today it becomes a reality. Is it kind of cool to see this thing come to fruition? I mean, obviously it was an honor to get the name, but now to see it in reality?
Yeah, when I landed, I saw the first box. I'm like, damn, this is cool, man. It's crazy. I mean, I never thought I'd be on the Wheaties box. I never thought mixed martial arts would be on the Wheaties box. And now we're here, man, so it's amazing.
And let me get your takes on the Reebok deal. Obviously, big news this week. Still kind of feeling out the details, I think, for everybody. But what's your initial reaction to that?
I like it, man. I'm telling you, I've been all stages of the sport. I've been the lower level guy that wasn't on TV trying to find sponsors. I've been the main event on a Spike TV. I've been the main event on a Fox. I've been the main event on the pay-per-view now. So I know how the level of sponsorship goes. These lower level guys are making a couple $100 to get on a t-shirt, wear a t-shirt, and sometimes it's hard to collect that. So it's like clean it up, give these guys the same amount of money without having to worry about if that money's coming. And that just makes these guys' career a lot easier. I mean, you don't have to hustle and try to I had to use that to go get sponsors. Businesses in Milwaukee, hey, you want to sponsor me for our next fight? I'll give you A, B, C, and D. And it was a headache. And now these guys don't have to worry about that, man. They for sure have a nice gear sponsor. They're going to be safe in the training stuff. And Reebok's plan on putting. I was working with Reebok for a while, so they plan on putting a lot into this. They did the CrossFit thing, it blew up. Let's make sure this MMA thing blows up the same way. So I think it's a good thing for everybody.
That's awesome. Last question I got for you is get your analyst hat on. This main event, obviously a big one, just as big as your fight. Johny Hendricks, Robbie Lawler, too. Who you got?
Man, that's so tough to call. Robbie's looking amazing, man. I mean, I've trained with Robbie when I was a kid out at Pat Miller's gym, so I knew him before he was doing what he's doing right now. I love to see where he's at, but Hendricks is tough, man. I heard he beat Ben Askren in a wrestling match, in high school, and I trained with Ben. I know how tough he is. So it's a mystery of both these guys. And Hendricks is sponsored by Reebok, so I get to hang out with him a lot. So it's tough to call. Not only personal-wise, but skill-wise. We saw the last fight. Very close. Who knows?
Anthony, Gilbert and Clay are such similar fighters. In fact, I'd say Gilbert maybe has more of a methodical top game. I'm sure he's looked at the fight. In fact, I know he did. Just talked to him.
Definitely.
How do you keep that from happening again?
I'm not even close to that fighter. You know, I was so new to the fight. You know, I got signed to the WC. I won 5 fights in a year and a half span. It's fought for the title. And so in a year and a half, I'm supposed to be fighting for a UFC lightweight champ. My career just started. So I was like 2 years in, about to fight for a UFC title. So I mean, I was so new to the sport.
Well, and you've also admitted to me in the past that you look past Guido. That you were kind of.
Well, I didn't look past him.
It was the UFC.
I got the champ. I got the champ. Yeah. So you know, I'm definitely a different fighter. I mean, if he thinks he's gonna come hold me down, maybe round 1 he might do it. Maybe round 2, but I'm gonna find his chin and put him to sleep.
Are you kind of preparing for that? No. I mean a more passionate, I guess, for lack of a better term, Gilbert in rounds 1 and 2.
No, I think he's gonna come at me hard and try taking me down and hold me down.
How are you planning to knock out a guy who's never been finished in 27 fights? That's what I keep coming back to. I mean, it's a nice proclamation. You're a dangerous fighter, of course, but how do you do it to a guy like Gilbert?
He's never fought a guy like me, that's how, man. He's never got kicked the way I kick. He's never seen the moves that I throw in the octagon. I'm not afraid to throw it. I won't not throw a crazy kick because I'm afraid to go to my back. So I'm just to get off my back. So, you know, if I see the opportunity, that knockout's going to come. Maybe if it's not a knockout, it's going to drop him. I'm going to get a submission. I'm going to somehow finish this guy.
We talked before. I mean, this is a layoff. You've dealt with layoffs before, but not as a champion. You know, you've got the gold, you've got a bit of a responsibility. Do you feel any pressure to defend that with the layoff, to come out and make a statement because you are Anthony Showtime Pettis?
No, because if I didn't have this belt, I got to win this fight either way. I mean, it's not like I can lose fights anymore. It's just, you got to win fights. So the belt's just, you know, it's just a jewel that I won, you know, a fight ago. I'm not making a big deal. Yes, I am the best in the world, but, you know, I got a guy that's trying to take that title. So, you know, I'm not going to think about the belt like, oh man, I gotta win for this belt. You know, I just gotta win this fight because it's my next fight.
What's in store for 2015 then for Anthony Showtime Pettis? You're presumably healthy. You got this Reebok deal. It's a big year for mixed martial arts coming off of 2014. The responsibilities as a fighter, the responsibilities as a champion. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a busy year. You know, I gotta make up for some lost time and fight these guys who've been calling me out. I mean, you got these guys that think they deserve to be the champ, and there's only one champ. That's me.
Who's in your mind when you hear chatter, when your ears perk up? Who are some of those guys?
Right now, I don't even know. I mean, I see the guys that are doing good, but I don't really know
who do you see
right next. Cerrone, Dos Anjos, Khabib. I mean, all the guys that are ranked top 5. I just see this, but I don't think of them as opponents yet because I got one guy to focus on.
Good deal. All right, Anthony, best of luck on Saturday. Thanks for the time.
Anthony, you mentioned you're expecting a great fight from him because he's Mexican and you're expecting him to bring it. We know UFC's trying to bring UFC more to the Latino world. You're Latino, he's Latino. Are we expecting that type of a brawl like you see in boxing with the Latinos going at it?
De La Hoya, Cotto, something like that's going to happen this weekend, bro. I mean, you know, he's tough. He knows how to fight, he throws down, and you know, we're both with Hispanic descent, him Mexican, me Mexican, Puerto Rican. We don't quit. We got that warrior spirit, so you know, we're going to have a tough fight. We're throwing down this weekend.
I know you went to Puerto Rico and UFC's trying to grow over there. Do you think you could bring UFC to Puerto Rico and get that following?
That's the goal, man. You know, Puerto Rico is a mecca for, I mean, even this new San Juan, the arena they built. Boxing is huge in there now. You know, Danny Swift Garcia went over there, blew it up. The fans loved him. So, you know, let's make it happen. I went there and saw the skill level. They're getting better, man. UFC's growing over there in Puerto Rico.
Okay, we're a Latino side. What would you say to Latino fans who watch boxing, are starting to get into UFC? Why should they get into the sport, and what can they look forward to in the sport?
I love boxing myself, man, so I wouldn't say switch over from boxing. You know, it's just another form of combat. I mean, we got guys like me, myself, Gilbert Melendez, Cain Velasquez. You know, some of the top guys in the division are coming from Hispanic descent, and you know, it's cool to see. I mean, it's only going to happen more and more. You get more you know, Hispanic fans involved, the more fighters we get from our communities, the more opportunities we have, the more idols we can look at, and more people to look up to. So I think you know, we transitioning that to the Hispanic side. We have, you know, a lot more jobs created for a lot of us.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Questions?